Hello everyone, welcome back for Let's Play Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. We're on the new chapter, Icebound Queen. Again, we are now essentially in entirely uncharted territory, as most of CL's route was a recap of Ark's route in the original. So, last time we jumped to save Noelle, and then the roof collapsed on us. And that was the end of the chapter. Like, this has happened before in, like, Stay Night, where it's like, we seem to die and the game continues. Only problem, Shiki and Shiro have vastly different rule sets for powers, so... I'm still alive. I awaken to suffocating pressure and stifling heat. Is it Noelle on top of us? Everything around me is dark. That's the question. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Wherever this is, it's extremely cramped. I'm trapped on all fours like I'm in the middle of a push-up. I can't move my legs. My outstretched arms are locked in place. My back aches. Between my arms, from my chest to my crotch, I feel something warm and soft that sends a shiver up my spine. I don't like that. Wait. Oh no. Wait. Wait. Oh no! Oh goodness. We are... Oh. I hear Miss Noelle's voice from beneath me. She's close. Very close. Actually, wait just a... Now is not the time. So are you okay after the vampire bite? At that, I finally pieced together what's happening. In the moments before the chamber came crashing down, I laid Miss Noelle down and flung myself on top of her. By all rights, that should have been the end of me. If I'm still alive, it can only be because... So, I guess the bounded field she threw up, that must be, like, again, one of the mage crafts they're allowed to use, huh? She's audibly pleased with herself. An executor. That must mean her teacher persona is just a disguise. She's only showed up at school 3 days ago. Is hunting Vlov the reason she came to the city in the first place? Boy, you're really all about the hero of justice stuff, which, again, is the words of another Type Moon protagonist, mostly. It is kind of nice to just be talking with someone else about the main plot, you know? Kind of an outside perspective. Because it'll lead to things going quite differently than if we chatted with, you know, Arkwit about it. I can't say I'm surprised, but each word still feels like a knife stabbed into my chest. I think back to earlier. It doesn't bother me to learn that I never really knew who CL was. I don't care that she's an executor, or that she lives in a world of vampires and the supernatural. In that moment, she was the same girl I've always known. The same girl who found me that rainy night on the brink of death and offered me her hand. No matter how remote the world she inhabits, my gratitude towards her will never change. But that only makes it worse. That girl's out to kill every last vampire on Earth? Once this mission is done, she'll pick up and head straight on to the next. Even though I should have much bigger concerns, that's all I can think about right now.
四季君どうしたの？酸欠？じゃあ先生の中の空気あげよっか？
You're a problem. The sound of my name brings me back to reality. This isn't the time to be getting distracted.
足りてます。大丈夫です。一人分の隙間ってことは、ここまだ土の中なんですか？
ええ、四季君が助けてくれたから先生も頑張ったというか、持っていた安全策が自動的に発動したというか。
Oh, you have airbags? Of course she does. All women do. Heyo.
どっちにしろ私のおかげだから感謝してね。この個人要素。
The joke was breasts, okay?
はい。理屈はわかりませんけど、ありがとうございます。また先生に助けられました。
そうならこれは貸しね。後でちゃんと取り立てるから。
Oh no. Oh no, she doesn't seem quite sure what to say. Her body temperature rises a little. We're pressed together so closely that it's easy to tell.
それで何がどうなったかわかりますか？
何って。
Oh, her glasses are off too.
広場が崩れてみんな生き埋めになったんじゃない？死者は潰れただろうけど、使徒はあれぐらいじゃ死なないから、今頃は眠っているのかも。夜になれば元気になるんだし。
Great.
ブローブは死んでいない。じゃあ先輩は？
あの子はもっと頑丈よ。きっと私たちと同じように隙間を作って逃れてるわ。
Especially because we haven't heard about her whole gimmick yet.
それより四季君、あの使徒の名前はブローブっていうの？あなたあいつを知ってた？
はい。昨日ホテルで奴と出会いました。
ああ、なるほどね。そうだったんだ。なんであなたがここにいるのか不思議だったけど、あの人に捕まって地下に落とされた
That
ってわけ。
was not what happened. I mutter a non-committal response. It's a little hard to confess that I actually came here to kill him, given the current state of affairs.
ま、助かったんだからよしとしましょ
We're
う。
buried underground, like 50 stories down. I don't think that's like Tails saying, "We saved this city" at the end of Sonic Adventure. It's not the
予
case.
想外の結果に終わったけど命はあるんだし、あとはあの子に任せてしばらくこのままね。
しばらくはこのまま。
What am I even looking at? Oh, that's her legs. Okay.
大丈夫。日本のレスキューは優秀だもの。2日も我慢すれば見つけてもらえるでしょ。それともこの姿勢じゃ半日だって耐えられないかしら。
Where are we? There's no way they'll find us. Miss Noel's fingers curl around the back of my neck. She's got a point, but that's not what I meant.
違います。ブローブのことです。先生は心配じゃないんですか？あの化け物は夜になったらまた外に出ていくんでしょ？
でしょうね。あれ、27素なんでしょ？ならこんな土砂崩れで活動不能になる規模じゃないわ。日が沈めば地上は良くて阿鼻叫喚、悪くて一面氷漬けになるでしょうね。
なら
こんなことをしている暇はないって言いたいの？
Good question, actually.
思い上がらないで。相手は27層。教会でも無視するしかない大物なの。あいつらはもう生き物ですらない。概念を武器にする魔物。現実を侵食する呪い。1万年かけて安定した人間の物理法
bugs in
則
the
を混
world's
ぜ乱
code,
す
huh?
この世のバグみたいなやつら。
I still love, and I will keep bringing this up every time because I've had people argue with me about this rather, that magic at a high level is comparable to technology in the Nasuverse, and I love it, and it always keeps coming back to it.
あなたにその名称を教えたやつも言ってなかった？ 27 層とは一つの国である。国を倒すことは一個人にはできない。凡人は彼らが立ち去るのを隠れてやり過ごすことしかできないのだって。
I was gonna say, isn't your role to defeat them? But that's not the ancestors, that's just the regular dead apostles mostly.
わかる？もともと私たちがどうこうできる
They
相
need
手じゃないし、
full rituals and stuff to get rid of the ancestors usually.
でもあの時先輩は昼間のうちに倒すしかないって。
だからそういうことを言っちゃう人は彼らと同じぐらいあれってことよ。あの子は特別だからきっちり対策をして装備を整えていたらいい勝負に
Dang,
なっ
like
てたんじゃない？
Batman.
さっきは下調べのつもりだったから簡易装備しかなかったけど。
That is true, she is not fully armored. I do remember Seal saying something along those lines. Does that mean that with the proper equipment, she could beat that monster?
そういうわけなので私たち凡人はこうして助けを待っていればいいの。これだって立派な仕事よ、四季君。
先生、首に唇当ててませんか？
What?
上着のボタン外れてるんですけど。
This is assault.
そりゃ外してるわよ。先生として四季
Stop.
君が怪我してないか見てあげなくちゃいけない
Oh my
でしょ。
god.
約束約束。
This is the second time this has happened to him. And I'm not talking about like with Noah. Like this is, what is it with women in power above Shiki doing this? It's a problem. Perks! I really don't have the time to be playing around. There are far more pressing matters at hand, but I'm so close to Miss Noelle that her smell is making my head spin. Oh no, not the girl smell.
はい、メガネかけてあげる。四季君が気を失っている時にたっぷり眺めていたから素顔は十分堪能したしね。
気を失ってた。俺どのくらい寝てたんですか
？3時間か。
Wow, okay.
上はそろそろ夕暮れよ。ね。だからもう何したって手遅れなの。諦めてここで助けを待ちなさい。
Boy, we are gonna go hungry. Tensing my arms, I strain against the debris weighing on my back. But of course, it's nowhere near enough to break free. I'm not even strong enough to escape a pile of rubble.
それでも私を責めないとか、ちゃんと物事の道理が分かってるのね。私、四季君のことを本気で気に入っちゃったかも。
I fear
リスト
that
いるよ。
I fear that list. That list could send you to jail. A breathy voice comes from below me. Her playful tone has become something more heated, more sincere.
先生。
ちょっとここじゃ物足りないけど、堕落してみる？
Frick, that is... Okay, wait. That wordplay is incredible. I don't think there's any wordplay in the Japanese. That's really good. I can't tell if she's joking or if she's serious. Just as I'm about to respond.
本当にレスキュー？早すぎない？
Thank God. The weight pressing against my back is suddenly lifted away. I look up. Oh, hey, Chris Hansen.
早く出てきてください、ノエル先生。それとついでに、どうでもいいですけど、遠野くんも
You can. Oh, wow. Light pours down from above. And there, holding a several meter long stone slab aloft with one hand, is our savior, Ciel. Thank you. Thank you. This was gonna be weird, and I'm happy that it's not. Okay, wait. Wait. Oh, this was this area. This is incredibly awkward. Extenuating circumstances or no, Miss Noel and I were caught fully entangled.
先輩、これは。
I think we should ask the adult in this situation to explain themselves, but okay.
ノエル先生は教会支部に連絡を。都市制圧戦を申請しますが、通りますか？
Ooh. Are we actually going to get to see the nun squad?
通るけど無意味じゃない？この区域に来校者のストックはないもの。許可は下りるけど、戦力増加は絶望的よ。やるなら私たちだけになるわ。そうですか。では報道規制、警察組織への牽制を申告してください。先生、それぐらいの人脈はありますよね。
Honestly, the church having this much control over Japan is pretty unbelievable. But the church having this much control over Western countries is fully believable.
はいはい、任されました。こんな危ないところにいたくないし。じゃあね、しきくん。赤くなってかわいい。
I like her, but she's also a problem. And I do know that later on, she's still going to be a problem, but in a different way. Miss Noel scurries away with a grin on her face, waving as she goes. She quite literally bounces up the mountain of rubble and out of sight. See how nonchalantly pats the dust from her school uniform. She hasn't said a word to me. She's the one who's out of place here. I think I have the right to ask her who and what she is. But I don't know what to say. Who are you? Are you hurt? What do we do now? Nothing happened between me and Miss Noel. All sorts of things come to mind, but none of them leave my mouth. I look up to see that night has almost fallen. The sun is moments away from setting. Judging by the department stores surrounding us, this sunken area must have been the Central Park. Now it's a rubble-filled crater. Who would ever believe the nightmares that lurked below? So, okay. Huh. This is the Central Park. The park that apparently the Tonos had funding in creating? Huh. Craning my neck, I can see the barricades have already been erected around the crater's rim. What I can't see is any onlookers, which seems strange for an incident on this scale. I would have expected a news helicopter or two at the very least, but there's nothing.
報道はありませんよ。これはあくまで事故です。地下に溜まったガス爆発ということで、
It's always the gas
近住民の避
explosions.
難も行われています。
It's always gas explosions. And it's funny because whenever I read about a real gas explosion in the media, I'm like, but is it?
この後に起こることに関して準備ができているのは、私とこの周囲を封鎖した警察の人間、そしてあなただけです。
そうですか。あの地下の通路は。
この崩落で潰れてしまいました。痕跡は発見されるでしょうが、なかったことにされるでしょうね。
Their videos will mysteriously be taken down. They'll be like, where, you know, where's all my views? And the views will be just gone.
それは先輩たちがそう仕向けるんですか？
Underground YouTubers.
いえ、あくまでこの国の警察の判断です。彼らもここに地下空洞があったことは調査するでしょう。ですがそれで終わりです。だって死体を集めて血を抜く怪物がいるなんて、それこそ意味がわからない。ここで何十人もの行方不明者の遺体らしきものが発見された。でおしまいです。
Right is the only response I can give. Realistically, I know that what happened here is beyond the reach of the judicial system, but it's still hard to hear it spoken aloud. Those catacombs swallowed so many people. Now they'll remain buried in the dark forever, their deaths never to be explained or understood.
とりあえずお礼を言わなくちゃ。ありがとう先輩。先輩がいなかったら俺もそのうちの一人になってました。
はあ、まあ遠野くんが無事でよかったですけど。いえ、そういうことではなく。
Bad CL. No, bad CL. That's adorable.
無駄話をしている場合ではありませんでした。率直に言います。一般人であるあなたにこれ以上関与されては迷惑です。賢明な判断による黙秘を期待します。とは言っても忘れられることではないでしょう。
It's actually not possible,
です
really.
ので、あなたの安全を考慮し、ここ1日分のあなたの記憶を消します。いいから抵抗しないように。
No, please don't Men in Black me. Please don't. Oh my god. We have art of her as a man in black. That was in Kagetsu Toya. Oh my god, was that a joke about that? Was the agent CL in that game meant to be a joke on the... No way. Maybe? CL strides towards me, her face stony.
記憶を消すってそんなことできるんですか？
はい。1日分、かつ消すだけなら私でも可能です。それで遠野くんは元通り、
I wonder if it's
昨
actually
日ま
going to
で
be
の
a
生活に戻
choice.
れます。ただちょっと痛いですから、私を恨んでも結構です。
She continues her advance.
それ無理な話じゃないか。だって記憶を消すんでしょ。恨んでも意味なくないですか？
I step back, starting to panic.
はい。それも忘れちゃうんですけど、きちんと言っておきたいから。
She keeps on coming.
では、目を閉じてください。見えていると2倍、いえ、10倍ぐらい痛いと思います。
I really want her to take out a comedically large hammer and just bonk us on the head. This is escalating too fast for me to keep up. But I know one thing. I can't lose my memories of today no matter what. Now while Vlov is still alive, now while I still have unfinished business, if she wants to erase my memories, I'll gladly let her. But only after all this is over. I refuse to forget everything and run to safety, while she stays behind and fights.
待ってください先輩。先輩の正体とか吸血鬼とかそういうのを秘密にしたいんですよね。ならそれは明日にしてください。今日のうちはまだ。
I can't just pretend this never happened. After living through the horror of those catacombs, how can I be allowed to simply go back to my old life?
危ないことはしませんか？
しない。したこともない。
Actually, I was definitely planning to resist if it had come down to it. Seal's eyes bore into my mind like she can read my thoughts plain as day. I gulp but stare back defiantly. For her, it probably only feels like a few seconds. For me, it seems like minutes pass in silence.
わかりました。遠野くんは信じます。先ほどの現場を体験した以上、軽率な言動をするとは思いませんし、余計な善行でしたが、一度助けられた恩もありますから。
I mean, we didn't know it was you to begin with. Seal turns on her heel and walks away. She bounds up the slope of rubble with the same easy grace as Miss Noel. Unease hits me quicker than relief. As I watch her leave, I can't help but be struck by how lonely she looks.
先輩。
I call out to her without thinking.
何か？
先輩は吸血鬼を殺すためにこの町にやってきたんですか？
そういうことになりますね。もともと私はこの町の人間ではありません。あなたの学校に生徒として編入していたのも吸血鬼を殲滅するためです。
I mean, again,
すべてが終わればこの町を後にします。
I'm surprised Shiki was never like, I always thought it was weird we had a French classmate named Ciel in a Japanese school who spoke perfect Japanese. It was a little weird.
その時あなたの記憶を消去することにしましょう。それまでは見逃してあげますから、くれぐれも危険な行動は慎むように。次に私の視界に入れば障害物として処理しますから、そのつもりで。
She issues me a final warning, her tone even frostier than her glare. Go home, she's saying. There's no need to risk your life any more than you already
わ
have.
かりました。でも先輩の方こそ危ないことはしないですよね。あの吸血鬼と一人で戦うとか。
Interesting, we had a fight with him, and this whole place collapsed. And yet he's still around. I didn't think I thought that'd be the end of him. But no, he is still around.
まさかあれ相手に一人で戦うなんてありえません。数日すれば増援が来ますから、それまではここを監視するだけです。あなたは安心して自分の居場所に戻ってください。
Then in an instant, she's gone. The sun is just about to sink below the horizon. Soon darkness will set in. A time for vampires. A time for battle.
もう今の俺でも嘘だってわかりますよ、先輩。
She's gonna try and fight Vlov alone. That means I still have work to do. I need to tell Arquid about what happened today. When she learns we've brought down Vlov's lair and left him buried in the rubble, there's a good chance she'll revise her plans. Oh. Oh, are we still gonna bring Arquid and fight him here? Huh. That'd be interesting. Where are we? Well, considering looking at what happens in the other thing, we're not going to rejoin the plot for a long time, if ever, I think. I ease the front door open and tiptoe back into the apartment. Uh-oh. Unfortunately for me, Arquid is already awake, and by the looks of it, she's figured out why I left.
ただいまアルクエイド。もう体はいいのか？
ええ、すっかり。いつもは睡眠中でも周囲への警戒に力を使うんだけど、今回は睡眠だけに専念したから戻りは早かったわ。目を覚ました時、なんでそんな危険を冒したんだろうって反省したけど。
Well, unfortunately, you're not the girl this route, so there's an unmistakable edge to her voice. She's definitely pissed.
そりゃ怒るよな。ごめん、アルクエイド。勝手に出歩いて悪かった。
悪くないわ。日中、四季が何をしようと自由だもの。日没までに戻ってきてくれれば問題ないし、私も気にしてないし、想定以上に体力が戻って気分いいし、怒る理由がないじゃない。
She is not happy. Also, she's quieter. Like I know I put Shiki up to 70. I think let's like crank all the main characters up to like 70 because I think it just sounds better to hear them fully, you know? I think it just sounds like the perfect amount. Okay, maybe not 71. That's too much. That's too crazy. I mean, we're not going to hear much of you, Noelle, Arak, Goto. Some of these I'm not expecting much. Like Karius, again, I barely remember his name. Okay. Sound a little bit more even. She punctuates her tirade with a pout. She's clearly fuming no matter what she says.
さすがにこれも嘘とわかるというか。いや、目に見えて不機嫌だぞ、お前。
そんなの私もわかんないわよ。なんでかイライラするの。暴れたいの。自分でもおかしいってわかってるんだからほっといてバカ。
Oh, wow, that was a strong baka. Yeah, you're feeling emotions for the first time, huh? She turns away with a humph before collapsing onto the bed. Aw. Thankfully, she doesn't seem to have realized where I actually went, but this mood of hers spells trouble.
寝起きの問題じゃないか。実は低血圧だったとか。
そんなの人間だけの話。私、寝起きは鮮明だし。
I'm sure you are.
そうか。じゃあそのまま横になって気分を落ち着けてくれ。準備ができたら話がある。
You're gonna need a brace for this.
いい。怒ってないんだから今すぐ話して。式が外に出たことに関係あるんでしょ？
Do you know how exciting it is to be playing something kind of brand new? Like, that I know nothing about? Like, actually, like, it's... I'm loving this. Arkwood rolls right back out of bed like one of those Daruma dolls that rocks back upright when pushed over. I'm surprised they didn't localize that as Weebles, because Weebles wobbles, but they don't fall down. Her voice is suddenly serious, though she still hasn't quite calmed down. She must have put the pieces together when I confessed I had something to tell her.
察しがいいんだな。お前が見抜いた通りだよ。俺は今までグローブの根城に行ってた。お前の忠告を無視してな。だから俺が悪かったのは本当だよ。
Alright, is she gonna be angry or surprised? Concerned.
よく命があったものだわ。
Not what I expected.
こうなるだろうと予想はしていたけど。
Arkwood lets out an exasperated sigh. It seems she expected me to go out on my own and do something rash.
分かっていて俺の好きにさせてくれたのか。
本当に行くとは思っていなかったけどね。式は一度も城攻めはしないと言わなかった。だからその選択は式の中にあるんだろうなって。あなた、忘れ物は多いけど嘘は口にできないみたいだから。
My eyes widen in surprise at that. It's uncomfortable to have my own subconscious tendencies pointed out to me. Not to mention a little embarrassing.
まあ、そういうことなら話は早いか。ここからは包み隠さず話す。報告と思って聞いてくれ。
ええ、どうぞ。せっかくの情報だもの。ありがたく拝聴させてもらいましょう。
I recount everything that transpired underground. I tell her about the catacombs below the department store, about the zombies, the central chamber, Vlov's sudden appearance. For the most part, she listens quietly and calmly until...
代行者がいたです。
Oh! Goodness gracious, your eyes. I don't think I've seen your red eyes look like that. As soon as I mention Seal and Miss Noel, her demeanor changes. This is different from her vaguely bad mood earlier. The very word executors seems to provoke genuine hatred.
なんだよ。そこまで怒るようなことか。ブローブを倒す目的は同じだし、何よりすっごく頼りになったんだぞ。
Wait.
先輩なんてブローブの火もへっちゃらだったし。
They both have heat-resistant stuff. They have the anti-fire dress and then the anti-fire... Yeah, huh.
もしかすると、お前と同じぐらい強いんじゃないかな。
Oh, never say that about a girl.
そう。よっぽど怖い思いをしたのね、式。でも代行者なんかが私より強いとかありえない。
Boy. That's a strong thing to say.
大体、ちっとも怒ってないし、ただ不快なだけよ。式だって食事中に害虫の話はされたくはないでしょ。
Well, I mean, if you're telling me cool bug facts, I'd be fine. I'm always down for a cool bug fact.
いいから、あいつらの話はしないで。
害虫ってなんだそれ。先輩も先生もいい人だったんだぞ。俺なんて何度助けてもらったか。
Alright, Shiki, I know you're like trusting to a fault. I would in no conscious way call Noelle a good person with what she does to you.
何よ、あいつらの肩ばっかり持って。私だって式を助けたのに、頼りにされるのは私の方じゃないの？
はあ
Her reaction is so unexpected that I'm lost for words. I trust Arquid, of course, but my feelings towards her and CL are completely different. She's a friend in this route. All of a sudden, things have gotten extremely awkward. I clear my throat and try to change the subject.
とにかくブローブは弱っている。今は土砂の下だけど、夜になれば這い出てくるとも言ってた。だからその前に
息の根を止める。ブローブが地上に出て血液を補充する前に倒そうって言うんでしょ。その作戦は正しいわ。人間の犠牲を出したくないっていう士気の考えにもそうものだしね。でもいや、倒しに行くなら士気だけで行けば。
Dang.
あ、作戦として正しいんだろ。だいたい今自分を頼れって言ったじゃんか、お前。
それとこれとは別問題よ。私もうブローブに興味ないし、代行者がいるんでしょ。あいつらに任せておけばいいわ。
Hey, maybe you
私
should
と式が時間を使う必要はないと思うけど。
maybe you should tell him about Roa early.
ブローブに興味がないって。
効率の話よ。私がブローブと戦う気になっていたのは私以外に倒せる相手がいなかったから。けど代行者が始末するのなら私が出張る必要はない。力も温存しておきたいし、代行者の戦力を削ぎ落とすことにもなる。ほら、手を貸す理由が全くないじゃない。
Yeah, this is a good time to explain Roa. Right now.
筋が通ってる。
I want to bite back, but I can't deny that our argument holds water. Seal and Miss Noelle are vampire hunters, after all. Even if Arquid isn't their target, they aren't exactly likely to get along. From a tactical point of view, scouting out her enemies while conserving her own her own resources makes perfect sense.
じゃあ、どうあってもブローブとは戦ってくれないのか。
Would you do it for an Arquid snack? My voice sounds surprisingly weak, even to my ears. I must have been leaning on Arquid more than I'd realized.
そういう顔するんだ。
Though perhaps that's how it should be, given that I'm only human. Fighting a vampire solo is probably a thought that never would occur to most people. I guess it just seemed like the thing to do, to pit my own irrational nature against his.
まあ、どうしてもって言うならそうね。シキのお願いを聞いてあげるんだから、シキも私のお願いを聞いてくれる？
I'm not going bra shopping with you.
私がシキのお願いを叶えてあげるんだから、シキも私の言うことを一つ聞く。そう約束してくれるなら、あなたに力を貸してあげなくもないけど。
What is she gonna want?
なんだって。
I'm so stunned that I accidentally asked the same thing twice.
だから、シキのためにならブローブを倒してあげてもいいって話。
Her tone is playful, but her eyes are deadly serious. I shouldn't agree to this lightly. There's no telling what kind of ridiculous demands she might make. I've seen enough over the past 2 days to know she thinks of nothing of human life one way or another.
ほら、どうするの？私にお願いする？
How did it end up like this? I'm the one who agreed to help her, but somehow our roles have been reversed. But no matter how much I turn it over in my head, I don't have a choice. I'm not strong enough to defeat Vlov on my own. And it'll prevent a repeat of the massacre at the hotel. A favor from Arcuate is a small price to pay.
わかった。
There's no choice. Okay, I was worried.
お願いだからブローブを倒してくれ。
よーし、任せて。そういうことならすぐ行きましょう。
Oh, it's
手を引っ張るなってば。
it's just a I'll get you back later sort of one. That is bad.
すぐって深夜になるのを待たないのか。
代行者がいるんでしょ。あいつら行動だけは早いから。先を越される前にやっつけちゃおう。
やっつけるって対策は？
ブローブの呪いは炎じゃなくて霊気なんでしょ。 なら簡単よ。対策はできるし、私としては相性的にそっちの方がやりやすいもの。
Huh, okay.
作戦もシンプルね。私がブローブを捕まえるから、あとはあなたの目で殺すだけでいい。大丈夫。今の私と式なら一息のうちに終わらせられるから。
Arkwood, if he has an aura of ice around him, how will I get close and stab him? She takes my hand and sprints eagerly ahead. I can't help but feel this has all gotten out of control already. But my only course now is to see it through. Just past 7 in the evening. I wonder what's happened over the past 2 hours. All I can do now is hope that Vlov has yet to claw his way out of the rubble, and trust Arkwood is as good as her word. I didn't think we'd be back to fighting him. And if we did this soon, we just kind of left him in a pile of rubble and we're like, we'll get back to him. It's been 10 minutes since Arkwood dragged me out of her upscale apartment. We've relocated to the roof of an office building, our argument all but forgotten.
ここが一番ね。下の様子がよくわかるでしょ。
With that, Arkwood finally lets me down. Ooh, buddy. Got a sore butt or something? I sputter in protest as she lowers me to the ground. That was the saddest. Let me hear that last part again. Buddy, you, okay. I thought I was beyond surprised at this point, but nothing could have prepared me for the experience of being cradled in her arms while she bounced up the side of the building like Mega Man X. I forgot that it's the first time in this route. My pounding heart gradually resumes its normal rhythm. With a few deep breaths, the dizziness brought on by the change in altitude starts to fade.
確かにここなら公園を一望できる。次は事前に言ってくれればこっちも準備が。歩くエイド。
Arkwood stands at the edge of the roof, staring down at the city below. An indescribable malice rises from her like steam. The situation on the ground is worse than I'd feared. Oh. The site of the collapse is covered in a white mist. I can feel the chill from all the way up here. In spite of these strange phenomena, the streets are empty of curious passerby. There seem to be traffic restrictions in place to keep people out of the area. Police and fire engines are out on the streets, but none of them come near. The collapsed park is a sea of rubble. All over the bowl-shaped crater, swords protrude from the ground. I'm sorry, unlimited blade works? Oh my god! Oh hell yes! The same slender longsword CL used. I love lots of swords. There must be over 100 of them driven into the earth.
100本単位の黒剣による結界。そう。式の言う代行者ってあいつなわけ。
Oh, we didn't specify.
歩くエイド。
オドだけで作られた疑似的なテンプル。
Temple? Huh. Pseudo temple created purely from one person's odd. Their yeah.
波の使徒なら閉じ込めておくどころか、あれだけで潰されておしまいでしょうけど。
Cool. Well, you know the church isn't a building, it's wherever you pray, so that makes sense she can just make a temple. Her voice is filled with fury, dripping with hatred. It's a very ordinary anger, one that feels almost human.
あれでブローブを閉じ込めているのか。でも。
Most of the swords are iced over. A grim suspicion hits me regarding the unnatural cold.
いいえ、まだブローブは封印中。ほら、そろそろもやが晴れるわ。
What? What the frick? Mosaic tool? The wall of white dissipates. A colossal cube with faces like sheets of ice appears amongst the rubble.
なんだあれ。あんなのさっきはなかったぞ。
Oh, oh frick! It's Reboot. We're gonna go in there and play a game. Not sorry. If you're there might be like a Jujutsu Kaisen joke here or something, because I know there's something with cubes. I don't watch trash. I mean, what?
檻を作ってから1時間ってところかしら。急増の準備にしてはあがくじゃない。
Look at her just going about. Again, what is that cute little thing there? Okay, you know what? Oh, I can't take a screenshot now. I just want to see, what is that? Oh, I can zoom in. It's like, it's just a little fuzzy pink, it's just fuzzy balls. Okay, that's it. I thought it was like a cat or something. Okay, I spot a familiar figure in front of the cube. It's Miss Noelle, running to and fro with her halberd in hand. As I watch, she dashes away from the cube, then back, then away again, finally stopping to clutch her head in her hands. She literally doesn't seem to know if she's coming or going.
先輩がいない。
I have a bad feeling about this. That's a beautiful shot of the city. That'd be a great live wallpaper for your computer. Whatever's happened here, it's clearly gone horribly wrong.
アルクエイド、降りよう。あれもう始まってるよな。
I try to calm my hammering heart as I shout to Arkwid. She's got to understand the situation better than I do, which makes what she says next all the more dumbfounding.
私、いや。
Oh! She turns her nose up at me like a sulking child.
いやってなんだよ。
She just like, don't want it.
代行者がいてもいいって言ったじゃないか。
嫌なものは嫌なの。代行者なんてやぶかみたいなものだけど、あれだけは別。あいつに手を貸すぐらいなら太陽を抱いて眠ってもいいぐらい。
Dang. In other words, she'd rather die. Strange but appropriate metaphor, not that it clears up my confusion.
あいつってシエル先輩を知ってるのか。お前。
その名前口にしないで。あと式はここにいて。あれ、もうすぐ自滅するから。あの箱が壊れたらこの辺りは氷漬けよ。私のそばにいないと式も死んじゃうからね。
Oh. Oh, she's keeping the cold in. Ciel's gonna burn herself out? And what's gonna happen if that cube
こ
breaks?
の辺りってどの辺りまで。
この町全部じゃない。具体的に言うと半径10キロぐらい。
Oh
でも絶
no.
対に手は貸さないから、私。
Arkwid, you kinda have to help stop that. She won't even look me in the eye.
絶対って今さら何言ってんだよ。お前な、先輩がそんなに嫌いなのか、恨みでもあるのか。いや、あるんだな、あるんだろうよ。でもそれとこれは関係ないだろう。今殺すべきはブローブなんだから。
だからあいつなんてどうでもいいの。どうでもいいからどうでもいいの。ええ、殺すべきはブローブの方よ。今から行けば楽に殺せるわよ。でも行かない。どうでもいいやつがいるから。あいつがどうでもよくなるまで私は何もしませんからねーった。
Oh, she is so petty. Moron. Arkwid's a total moron. I don't know what kind of history they have, but one thing is clear. As long as Ciel is down there, she isn't budging.
だいたいこうなったのもあなたたちの自業自得じゃない。ブローブ一人を止められないようじゃこんなちっぽけな集まりいつ崩壊してもおかしくないんだし。弱い生き物は弱い生き物らしくおとなしく全滅するのが自然の摂理よ。
That's, when you apply that to humans, it kind of becomes eugenics. You realize that, right? I'm so taken aback that my brain somehow resets. I actually circle all the way back around into cool-headedness.
バカ野郎、そこまで分かっていて助けに行かないのか。行かないんだな。人間なんてどうでもいいんだな。やっぱり吸血鬼なんだな、この分からずや。
Dang.
はあ、式の方こそここまで言ってあげたのにわからないの。私が手を貸すのは式のた。
もういい、勝手にしろこのわがまま女。 バカバカ
Okay. I thought he was gonna jump off the roof and I'd be like, buddy, you ain't Spider-Man. With one last jibe, I run for the roof exit. I can't trust Arkwood to help me anymore. I'll just have to make my own way down and get a better sense of what's happening. I cut through the lock on the door with my knife. Unfortunately, there's no elevator on the top floor. Come on, come on, come on! I hurtle down the stairs by the glow of the emergency lighting. Although I'm planning to plunge straight into the frozen maelstrom of a vampire's rage, I don't feel frightened. The reason is simple. I'm too frustrated, too sad, and too angry to be scared. Go extinct with grace, huh? We'll see about that. My own misapprehensions make me want to scream. Arkwood is just following her nature. She isn't stupid and she certainly isn't evil. She's just an inhuman being with an inhuman perspective. I'm the idiot for expecting a vampire to abide by our norms.
それでも期待したくて仕方がなかったんだよクソ
It's not like I'm grateful she forgave a murderer named Shikitono. Said I had hoped she was different, that she was special. Couldn't bring myself to hate someone with such an innocent smile. All I wanted more than anything else was to believe she was a good person. That hope has died tonight, and I don't have time to mourn it. First, I'll get down to the ground floor as quickly as I can. I'll make sure that Seal is safe. Then I'll face down Vlov and sever his line of death. At last, I make it to an elevator. I throw myself inside and slam the button for the first floor. There's no more time for doubts. Even if there was, I'm in way too deep to voice them. Take a deep breath and check myself over. Good. Everything seems to be in working order. Like I said, I'm not afraid. I'll no longer hesitate to kill something that looks human. I left that naivete underground with the dead. My breathing quickens. My heart thumps faster in my chest like it's trying to break free from my body. I arrive at the first floor. Arkwood isn't going to help me anymore. I tighten my grip on my knife, then dash out into the swirling cold. It's a good thing we got our jacket back. The monolith towers before me, an enormous cube-shaped hole in the world. The sides of the box are transparent, measuring over 40 meters each. The texture of its surface reminds me of acrylic plastic. Yeah, that's exactly what it... Yeah, that's what it looks like. Its blue-black tint isn't due to its walls, but to what they hold inside. White hailstones swirl about within. Icicles stand arrayed like fangs. A cold beyond human comprehension strains against its confines. This isn't a box. It's a cage. A cage for that which should not exist. A prison for that which must not be allowed to roam free upon the earth. And inside it...
Senpai!
She's in there. In a winter storm bitter enough to freeze the breath in her lungs. She's in there, all alone, dueling with Vlov. Is she, like, fully armored up? We're gonna see Powered Seal already? The blizzard approaches negative 100 degrees Celsius. A cold more extreme than any natural temperature on the surface of the planet. In this icy wasteland so hostile to life, two warriors... Oh, sorry, I need to do the Soul Calibur voice. In this icy wasteland so hostile to life, two warriors clash. One is Vlov Archangel, the wellspring of this frozen scourge. Oh, she's got guns! Hello? I'm sorry. That's a different outfit. What are you wearing? That's not the powered suit we've seen. The other, an executor, a young girl in armor. That almost looks like what Proto-Mash wore. Tachi there. The fury of the blizzard blinds them. The grinding of the glacier underfoot thwarts their steps. And as their every breath brings them closer to death, bullets of ice crash against bullets of steel. 60 minutes have elapsed since this battle began. That it still continues is a marvel in itself. What are you wearing? That's sick! Now I'm kind of mad that that's not your Lumina look. A handheld ballista dispenses a shower of 7.62 millimeter fireworks. A little specific. The bulky rounds, known and feared for their excessive firepower, streak toward the vampire. On human battlefields, the brutality of 8 and 9 millimeter bullets is typically harnessed to incapacitate rather than to kill, but this is no weapon for human battlefields. This is a tool for the vampire killer of the modern age, crafted to obliterate flesh and metal alike. Its name is Blaze. Okay, so I've heard of Blaze, because that's the name of one of her special moves there. I think she has Break and then another one. I knew a kid who's named Blaze. He was very 90s. A personal mystic code of Executor CL. The immolation type, one of the 7 causes of death borne by her holy scripture. I'm sorry, does that imply that 7, Nanako, has 7 forms? And I didn't know that. Oh, we're going full Rave Master 10 powers sword that ooh. That makes me excited. I really like transforming weapons. Its rain of bullets would shred a dead apostle whose power was measured in decades. But this vampire counts his age in centuries. Hot metal meets biting cold. Modern technology meets the primal wrath of the planet. Their clash echoes the timeless struggle between man and nature. I did not know her outfit was not the one that she wears in Type Lumina. That's crazy. What do you mean she has sick armor? Again, that just makes me sad that she doesn't wear it in Type Lumina. The vampire stands immobile, immutable. This Arctic landscape is a hell of its own making, of his own making, his greatest fear made manifest. The fear of freezing for want of blood. From this curse, Vlov Archangel draws his immortality. But so too does it bind him in frigid chains, and so long as it commands him, he remains rooted to the earth. Until the warmth of blood quickens him once more, he will remain where he stands, capable only of spreading his blight. However, the curse he bears is vast, vast enough to swallow a city, but it cannot naturally produce a cold this intense. The executors created these conditions by choice. Ordinarily, the vampire's influence would extend 4 kilometers in all directions, but enclosing it within a 40-meter cubic cage has condensed it to the extreme. The executor's bounded field and her own body are, in a sense, one and the same. To prevent the howling blizzard from consuming the city, she has borne the full brunt of it herself. 100 degrees below zero is the least of the cold she can endure. Locally, the temperature can fall as low as negative 270. I was going to say, to negative 273, that's known as absolute zero. A deluge of raw malevolence that would freeze mortal flesh on contact. All that keeps her from death is the torture device, forged of iron and lead she has affixed to her body. Oh, okay, now I understand why she doesn't wear that in Type Lumina. A groaning suit of metal armor. It's really cool, though! The vampire's corrosive power may twist the laws of nature, but her armor, woven from concepts, exists outside them. Shut up! I love the phrase, woven from concepts. Before it adorned her body, What do you mean she wears an Iron Maiden? That's metal as hell. Oh my god. Okay. I love this. An instrument of death designed to bleed its occupant dry with 1,000 needles. Let she who claims innocence prove it within. Survival shall damn her, while death shall clear her name. Those words led many to the Iron Maiden in the Dark Ages, cementing its legacy as a symbol of fear. Fun fact, very little recorded use of them. But do not despair, for all alike shall face the same end. The coffin spares none, be they innocent or witch. Okay, actually, wait. Okay, I kind of take it back. I actually don't like it too much. Yeah, okay. I think standing like this, I actually don't like it too much. Yeah. I feel like... Okay, well, if you look at her hair, she still has the stuff on her hair. I'll need more angles of it. Those locked within the Iron Maiden may find freedom only in death. To fall on the mercy of its perverse court is to be condemned to expire in captivity. A cursed iron ball gown, a conceptual weapon that serves only to inflict pain. And yet the executor embraces it with all its cruelty. Death is the only escape from its clutches, as much as true. But that is also to say, until death does it come, it will never release its hold. That is its true nature. The coffin cannot be destroyed by external trauma, only by its wearer's atrophy. Not even the most hostile environment could breach its defenses, including the hyperboreal, good word, cold. No torment from without could surpass that found within. Thus does it constitute proof of innocence. Thus it was christened virgin pain. I'm rubbing my face. I'm rubbing my face. This is so chewy. It's so good. Regalia, either way, which embodies a protracted death at the torturer's hand. It is a saint's purity and providence, guaranteeing her life so long as her magical energy is not exhausted, so long as she is not proven a witch. Well, the good news is, those are quite rare in this universe, so we're fine. Like, it does look cool from angles. I think that one standing shot I just didn't like. A voice echoes in the white darkness. Words finally pried from the vampire's mouth, not by the cold, but by true admiration for his enemy's tenacity. She knows that he is right. Defense alone does not beget victory. A human stands no chance against the concentrated wrath of nature. Everything in her vicinity is a blade pointed at her throat. A barrage of icicles pummels her body. Her gun is sent spinning from her hands. It comes to rest far out of reach, planted in the ground, like a grave marker. He speaks as though this battle has already ended. The vampire is well aware of the peculiarities of his foe's armor. As such, he knows it can only be destroyed by a stronger concept, a more potent curse. The extreme cold that surrounds him is a physiological function like breathing. It is no weapon, it cannot hope to shatter his enemy's aegis. There's only one answer to the concept of indestructibility, neutralizing it with its opposite. And here, fate favors his hand. For the knight's lance bestowed upon him by his lord came with a promise. In the hands of a vampire, there is nothing it cannot sunder. The battle weighs almost as heavily on Vlov as on Ciel. An errant strike is a risk he cannot take. So he has disarmed his foe, the better to secure his killing blow. You're so
動ける
cool.
かかしの分際で
That like in angles it looks awesome. And then you saw where she was just standing kind of straight up and it looked bad. It's weird. It's weird. Perhaps to his surprise, the executor leaves her gun where it lies. It might be her primary weapon, but she is hardly defenseless without it. If anything, she was already looking for an opportunity to switch arms. The intricate machinery of an assault rifle is poorly suited to the bitter cold. She knows it was only a matter of time before it jammed. It merely set the stage for her true fighting companion.
主の皆において第三の親友キヨ
The girl recites an incantation to herself. Long-range firearms are insufficient to keep her opponent pinned down. The time has come for her to draw her blade. A time for close combat. I love Monster Hunter! I love Monster Hunter! I love Monster Hunter! I'm gonna cry. It's so cool. I'm gonna cry. It's so cool. The Saint's blade rears its head. A gun and some armor is not all that makes up her arsenal. Okay, so it's not one transforming weapon. It is multiple that she calls forth. Still cool. Summoned weapons are still cool. But I love the 10 powers as a concept for a sword. Just a sword that just changes form. Blaze via... Oh, okay. Wait, okay. Okay, so Blaze via immolation. That is her gun. Sick via affliction. No idea. Blade via exsanguination. That means by bleeding out, right? Because... Right? Break via traumatization. That's her pile bunker, right? Lost via damnation. Don't know. Pain via excruciation. No idea. Punish via execution. I have an idea what that one is. Because I know of one other form. But I don't know. I think that might be punish. 7 causes of death said to be fates humans must endure. This is the true nature of her holy scripture. These deaths given form and wielded as weapons. A berserker yell. With a bestial roar, she sprints through the white hellscape. Heat and magical energy blaze in her wake, propelling her ever faster. The glacier underfoot cracks with every bound as she closes in on her prey. That sword is so broken and melty. Iron smashes against ice. The girl brandishes a brutal tool designed solely for the rending of flesh. A sword like a monstrous centipede, its legs the blades of guillotines threaded along a whip-like spine. This pulverizing weight proudly wears the name Blade. Ironically used to kill vampires. Punctured chest, a severed arm, a skull cleaved wide open. The executor's blade mercilessly deals one fatal blow after another. But still, victory remains out of reach. A vampire is an immortal being capable of recovering instantaneously from wounds that would kill any other living thing. To Vlov, this impossibly heavy weapon is as threatening as a cool breeze. For now. A spark alights in his cold, lifeless eyes. Realizing that the lacerations in his chest, arm, and head are not fading, the vampire finally reaches an understanding. He is filled with neither anger nor hate. Within him, a new emotion is thawing. Joy.
人間の流儀はどこに置いてきた女。この剣筋は使徒を殺すために使徒が編み出したものではないか。
Wait, what? Really? The executor swings her weapon again in lieu of answering. Sick. But her fourth attack does not connect. The vampire's memory, lost to centuries of cold and solitude, has been resurrected by her swordsmanship. No more is he a mindless blight upon the world. Now he is once again the knight who overthrew his former lord.
なぜ知っているという顔だな。
Yeah, please tell me more about these weapons.
27層剣装ベゼ
Oh, these are Beze's weapons?
俺も昔一度だけ教えを受けた
Really?
時代を見るにそうかお前が最後の門弟か
Interesting. Did not expect them to have studied with each other. But then again, I guess his weapon feels kind of similar. Two anomalous weapons clashing. Another Soul Calibur one. Two anomalous weapons clash against each other. A 3-meter lance carved from ice, and a 2-meter sword that coils like a serpent. A human. This is a Soul Calibur match. This is Ivy versus Hildegard. A human could barely hope to lift either, let alone swing it. And yet these warriors handle them with exquisite precision. The two are evenly matched in power, but it is clear which of them has the upper hand. The vampire's memory has been reawakened by the girl's blade, while her agility only deteriorates with each passing second. This battle was skewed against one fighter from its onset.
いいぞ剣の腕は互角か貴様が上だだが人間であることが災いしたなこの結界果たしてあと何分持つ
The vampire's spear roars as it pierces the air. The executor's sword turns it aside. Their battle transcends the bounds of human comprehension, raging on seemingly without end. This feels like a fate battle. Like, I'd say what we've seen so far has been an accurate representation of Tsukihime. This is written like a battle in fate. It's so good. Nevertheless, they hurtle toward the single moment that will decide everything. As soon as the girl shows the slightest sign of faltering, the knight will not hesitate to drive his lance through her heart. But what's Ashiki to do? What's Ashiki to do about this? Oh? That's not good. The frozen cage shudders. A cubic world expanding and contracting. The dark blue of its transparent walls has deepened to a murky black. Distant thunder rumbles from within like the final scream of a creature faced with death. It's not gonna last much longer. Even I can tell this was a desperate gambit.
四季君嘘本当に来たのダメ上に戻りなさいシエルさんから部外者が来たら追い返すように言われているの
Oh.
今さら戻れませんそれよりどうなってるんですかこれ
どうって見ての通り土地ごとブローブを封印したんだけど全然効かなかったの応援は来ないし太陽は沈んじゃうしねこうなったら逃げてもいい状況だったのにあの子ったら一人で何とかするとか言い出して出てきたブローブごと大聖堂をこの大きさまで圧縮して中に飛び込んじゃったのよそれが1時間前の話
Gothic Fort. It's the name of the bounded field. Okay. So I was right. Seal and Vlov are in there. I guess that Vlov was about to escape the rubble when Seal, realizing that he was going to destroy the city, trapped him in this cage. Then went inside herself to fight him. If it weren't for that cube, the blizzard I saw underground would have swallowed all of Soya by now. Markwood did say as much.
けどなんで先輩まで中に閉じ込めたんだから先輩が入る必要はないでしょ
あるわよあの結界はブローブの汚染を抑えるものでブローブ本体を抑えるものじゃないわ誰かが中でブローブを仕留めないといけないの
じゃあブローブを倒さない限り先輩は出てこないんですか
You know, I'm happy that he's in there and we're out here, and he's in there and we're in there, and he's out here, and the sheriff's the caveman, and yeah.
そうでも無理27層を正面から撃退するなんていくらあの子でも絶対無理あ 呪いを一人で受け止めてるだけでも嘘みたいな奇跡なのに。
You are the definition of unreliable when the situation calls for it, huh? Miss Noel is teetering on the brink of hysteria. The situation must be truly dire to have someone far more experienced with vampires than I am this rattled. I like how there's never once the question of, I can't believe Noel is the disciple and Ciel's the leader, because like immediately he's like, yep, that just makes sense considering their personalities. I look up at the cube's implacable walls. Although its contents are clearly visible, the black blizzard within is like a different world. The cube is only 40 meters on each side, but its interior looks far larger than the crater it's standing on, a box that distorts space and time, in which Ciel is fighting for her life against an immortal monster. She is valiant, determined, unyielding. She isn't giving Vlov a single inch. This blizzard is sapping her strength and freezing her bones. It's incredible she can even move at all. If only this had been a fair fight. If only she hadn't had to create this cage to stop the spread of the cold. If she had fought him on even terms, she would have beat him by now. I grind my teeth in frustration. These conditions are far too unfair. Her body is far too battered. She no longer has the strength to defeat Vlov alone. She needs someone else, another hand to support her, to fight for her, to give her the will to carry on. I take off my glasses. I take a hard look at the barrier, at my enemy within. Vlov might be too powerful for me to take on myself, but I would have been hers to wield if only she'd asked. The fingertips I've unconsciously stretched out freeze over in an instant. I can't go in there. I'll die. Remember what happened when you got too close to Vlov last time? Human beings can't function in that kind of cold. Our blood freezes, our cells rupture, our brains die. We aren't made to duel with vampires. I'm not a Canadian. I can't handle the cold. Besides, I'm far too late. I watch their silhouettes speed towards each other in the snowstorm. The armored girl has grown too slow by far, too sluggish to avoid the lance closing in on her like a thunderbolt. I see her figure run through, sent flying, pinned against the wall of her own cubic world like a sinner on a cross. Please have her crucified. Please, that'd be so cool. Please. As her body breaks, so too does her bounded field. Oh? With Ciel's defeat, her Gothic fort shatters. The world freezes over. An Arctic front spreads out at 160 kilometers per hour, devouring everything in its path. In its midst, Ciel's body arcs through the air like a rag doll. And all I can do is watch as everything comes to ruin. Whoa. Blue. The end I brace for. Never come. I swear to God. Are we at the Millennium Castle? As expected, a blast of frigid air swallows the crater. But I don't freeze. Rather, I feel a warmth rise within me, fighting back the cold. I open my eyes and look up. The Arctic front has stopped short of the city. The blizzard rages on, but only within the confines of the crater. Oh no, she's just built different. Okay. And on a rooftop far above it all, with her arm raised high and a scowl on her face, I see Arkwit. I find myself grinning uncontrollably. Judging by the ice sheathing the ground, the air is still less than negative 40 degrees, but I can breathe without issue. Hey, that's not too bad. That's, I've walked to school in temperatures like that. That's not a joke, by the way. The apparent temperature might even be close to freezing, warm enough for a human like me to survive for at least a few minutes. Yeah. I sense that this is Arkwyd's best offer. Helping Ciel remains a line she won't cross, but she's upheld her promise as best she can. By keeping Vlov contained, she's still protecting us in the city at large.
Nara.
Now it's all up to me. I have to save Ciel and put an end to Vlov. Something tells me that those two goals are one and the same. Really? Okay, so I feel like looking at Ciel is going to get us killed. So let's look at Ciel. That looks almost similar to what you wear in FGO. Yeah, it almost looks like the suit that she wears. Huh. I turn my gaze to Ciel. The same strike that shattered her bounded field buried her under a mountain of rubble. She's lying about 50 meters away. First things first, I have to help her. Keeping one eye on Vlov, I dash through the snowstorm. Ciel has been launched to the very edge of the crater into a particularly large mound of debris.
Senpai! Shikkari shite kure, senpai!
I call her name, trying to bring her round. She's covered in cuts and scrapes, but I don't see much blood. Her armor has come loose, exposing the layer of clothing beneath. In answer to my cries, the swell of her chest, deathly still until now, visibly shudders. Thank goodness she's alive.
聞こえますか? 苦しいだろうけど起きて! シエル先輩!
I glance at Vlov out of the corner of my eyes. I check her over. Sorry, what? It has a second form? Cool! My blood runs cold. He was completely still until a moment ago, but now he's walking ponderously towards us step by step. His lance was shattered by the blow that finished Ciel, leaving a smaller spear in its place. It's not the size of the spear, it's the motion, you know. His left arm, which I cut off in the catacombs, has returned, but it hangs limply by his side. The restoration must be purely cosmetic. In function, it remains dead. It's not hard to see that he's close to exhaustion, which makes his intentions all the clearer. He marches forth in defiance of his failing body to deliver the killing blow to his cornered prey.
先輩、よかった、気がついた。話は後です。早く起きて。グローブが来ます。
はい、ありがとうござ。なんで遠野くん？
It finally set in.
夢じゃないですよね。バカなんですかあなたは。なんで本当に来てるんですか？あんなに家に帰ってくださいってお願いしたじゃないですか。
A dumbfounded Ciel berates me from where she lies. I definitely can't blame her for being angry, but this isn't the time.
怒るのは後。ああ、もう引っ張りますよ。いいで。うわ、重っ。先輩、すげえ重くないですか？
Never say that to a girl. Oh my god, dude. That's it, route over.
遠野くんが非力なだけです。平均よりちょっとあるだけです。いいから早く逃げて。あなたは関係ありません。今ならまだ間に合うはずです。
Ciel tries to break free from my grip. Even in her current state, she's still concerned about me.
逃げれば助かるんですか？
I let my heart speak for me. She must know as well as I do that running won't save me now. There's nothing to be gained by trying and plenty to be lost. At best, it would buy me no more than a short reprieve. If we can't defeat Vlov here and now, this is the end.
遠野くん、それは。
そうだろう、先輩。 逃げても解決しない。戦うしかない。さっきみんなのために先輩がそうしたように。
At night, when she told me that I could still be redeemed.
本当の意味で助かりたいのなら怖くてもここであいつを殺さないと。
After all, what else am I good for? Murder on a hair trigger is my only talent. But so what? This battle doesn't have to be my redemption. Even if I'm only proving myself as a murderer. If it'll put an end to the death looming over us, I'll gladly leap back into the mouth of hell.
とにかく任せて。一緒にやらせてくれ先輩。
確かに遠野くんはブローブの腕を切り落としましたけど、いえダメです。だって理由がない。あなたにはそれだけのことをする理由がありません。
It isn't that she's denying my reason for being here. She's refusing to use me to win a battle I have no stake in. She must be an angel. Why else would she be trying to protect a life so worthless as mine?
それじゃあご褒美をください。あいつをやっつける手助けをしたら。
Damn it, I can't think of anything on the spur of the moment. The only reward that comes to mind is what's in front of me. Frankly, I can't tear my eyes away from her. The sight of her... Now's not the time, buddy, but I mean, okay. I get it in this case, because dang. Frankly, I can't tear my eyes away from her. The sight of her shapely form would drive any man mad with desire. As a healthy teenage boy, it's only natural that I can't help but come up with such ideas, though I'm sure saying any of them aloud would only earn me a punch in the face. So I'll set my sights a little lower. Should I ask for her number? For a friend request? Something about just the phrase friend request is really funny. Damn it, what am I even thinking? I can do that anytime I want. I'm such an idiot. I find myself smiling and realize it's the perfect way to do it. I mean, I like this person, really like her. She's the reason I'm here in the first place. So what's wrong with us imagining a tomorrow with her, even with the Vlov bearing down on us?
決まった。今度先輩の弁当を分けてください。それで手を打ちます。あ、もちろん手作りで。
はあ？でも私料理なんて1個ぐらいしか作れません。
じゃあそれでとっておきっぽくていいですね。
CL special. I don't have any clever tricks up my sleeve. I don't even have a coherent strategy. I'm just running my mouth because I know we're out of time. I force myself to look away from CL, focusing on Vlov. I know what I have to do. I'm gonna use my eyes for her. As I steel my resolve, someone takes my trembling hand from behind.
先輩。
2つ必ず守ってください。吸血鬼の正面には立たないで。
Circle strafe, buddy.
はい。あと一つは。
Okay, this exact picture of her looks remarkably like Aqua from Kingdom Hearts. Like, surprisingly.
私のことは何があっても考えないように。もう言うまでもありませんが、鉄みたいに頑丈ですから。
Her voice is steeped in self-deprecation and shame. It instantly sends me crashing back down to earth. I curse myself for forcing those words from her lips. With a nod, I let go of her hand. I immediately miss the softness of her touch. I step away from her and face down the approaching vampire. The massacre at the hotel, the nightmare of the catacombs. I recall the horrors I've seen, reached out to them for strength, and then stopped myself. I have a minute left at most before my body starts to falter. Did we miss a death scene? It looks like we did. Let's come back. Because I don't want to lose the momentum. So let's go back and get super killed and what happens. Alright. Let's go towards Vlov and see what happens if we get super killed. I squint into the heart of the snowstorm. Amidst the shattered ruins of the field, I spy Vlov's sickly face. His final blow left him almost as broken as CL. With his shoulders heaving in exhaustion, he looks almost human. I feel a flash of irritation, but I'm glad he's preoccupied. This is my chance to rescue CL. Oh. Oh, frick, never mind. weird. Okay, never mind. Okay.
なら
It's all up to me. I have to save it. Wait, no, wrong one. This one. All right. No, we need her. We need her help with this. I have a minute left at most before my body starts to falter. In that time, I need to cast aside my human emotions. I'll leave both fear and euphoria behind. Until this is done, I will trust in my eyes and become an instrument of death. A fleeting thought crosses my mind, that the flame of a life burning high and bright shines like the stars above. Oh. Buddy locked in. For the first time, our eyes meet. Vlov registers my presence. I might be as fragile as any other human, but my sting is deadly toxic. He knows full well that he ignores me at his peril. For a moment, I even wonder if we might talk face to face. Mutual understanding means nothing to us. I don't consider him a living being, and he sees me as nothing more than an object. Thus are we equal in each other's eyes. We already know all we need of each other. They never talk. Also, fighting game piano? What is this song? Oh my god, let's go. Let's go. I close the distance between us at a sprint. 40 meters. Woefully short for our final engagement. 4 seconds on the clock. 2 breaths in my lungs. He sends his spears of ice flying past me. Vlov is no fool. He would rather finish Ciel off before she can recover than waste his time on me. Yo, this song goes crazy already. No time to look back. Grinding my teeth, I enter his striking range. A knife against a spear. There's no... That looks like Gilgamesh's Ea weapon. What are you talking about? There's no contest between our respective reaches. To get close enough to cut his lines of death, I must first weather the incoming strike. His spear shoots towards my chest, propelled by inhuman strength. Evasion is out of the question. How? I don't know. But this vampire is no longer a simple force of nature. A spark gleams in his eyes. Reason and experience guide his hand. He no longer relies on sheer brute force. In other words, we are one and the same. 2 creatures fighting desperately for their own survival. His spear never gets close. A blow from behind me knocks it wildly aside. The bond of battle we share grants me a glimpse of Ciel's true power. This woman's parameters exceeds Vlov and mine put together. If we are single-purpose tools, then she is advanced machinery. So begins our 60-second waltz. The music, it's so good. We're literally dance killing him. We're hitting the dual text and dance killing. It's so good. This is so good. The executor trades blows with the vampire face to face. The assassin circles with his blade, searching for an opening. The knight keeps both foes in sight, careful never to leave his back unguarded. Our clashing blades weave a deadly melody, a symphony of steel played with razor precision. Ciel's guillotine blades swing in spiral formation. My knife threads its way through the gaps. Spears of ice knock them both aside, trying to disrupt our harmony. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Our performance is improvised, but we follow the steps to perfection. She creates openings for me to slip into, and I take care not to tread. You can't say that word around me, bucko. Come on, let's not bring that up right now. I take care to not tread on her toes. Oh, it's meant to be like a dancing thing. Right. Together we dance on the edge of a knife. Electricity crackles between us, growing ever stronger. With every second, my focus sharpens. To kill my foe, I must keep my eyes on him. Never have I gazed so long into a single death. It's spellbinding. And in its deepest, darkest depths, I glimpse the light of a principle. Something beyond my mortal comprehension. A light that a human mind with its understanding constructed from language and memory should not be able to see. But death is a universal 0 point, and through that lens my mind's eye shifts it into focus. I see memories of snowfields. I see memories of persecution. I see memories of exile. I see memories of salvation. I see memories of rebellion. I see a single night's story brought to an end. Convicted on false charges, driven from his home by political machinations, sent in punishment to the ends of the earth, to the uninhabited wasteland of the Arctic Sea, cast adrift in the frozen ocean, cursed to life in exile, consumed by cold, consumed by pain. And when he was hollowed and spent, a woman, like a rotted tree, seeking refuge from kin and mankind alike, proved his salvation. A woman. Spring came to him again for a time. He found joy in the flowers blooming in the snowfields, in the birdsong of the barren trees, in the pleasant slaughter of men. He took 10 wives, who gave to him comfort. Oh. Okay. Comfort. His loyalty to his lord was as steadfast as the sturdiest glacier. But the pain within his soul was beyond healing. His thirst for warmth was beyond his power to fight. In his desperation to flee the gnawing cold, he forsook his honor. Well, it may have been at another's behest. It was by his own hands that he snuffed out his only light. This is the truth of the man before me. This is the truth of the vampire named Vlov. A creature forged of cold, of treachery, of exile, of remorse. Now at last, I can kill him. A principle that can be expressed in human words lies within human reach. Rejoice, bloodsucker, for now I bring your final death. The sea below and the canopy above sing in chorus. I'm going to keep a close eye on the word canopy because O ancestors, may ye be cursed. O world of man, may ye be cursed. For this principle is not yet whole, and the foundation of this star is oh so frail. Why are we looking at a crimson moon? What's going on?
Summer.
His naked fury scorches my skin. My consciousness returns to me with a jerk. Wait. That was still in him. Ancestors cursed, world of man be cursed, principles not yet whole, and the foundation of this star is oh so frail. Is there a connection with, like, is Crimson Moon the root? Well, I guess Crimson Moon would be the root of vampires, right? Did we just see? Whoa. What did we see? I hear a voice, but I don't even have the strength to move my eyes. Stupid, foolish, I went too far. My head spins from the lack of oxygen. I'm too disoriented to look at CL. I can't even follow the path of the spear bearing down on me. 20 meters opens between us in the span of a heartbeat. Seal's arms encircle me from behind. She's hauled me out of Vlov's reach. I don't have time to catch my breath. I can feel his murderous ire even from here. All he desires in this moment is my death.
先輩、話してくれ。
I speak without turning around. The arms around my waist loosen their grip. Behind me, I hear the clank of great weight being hefted.
お互い限界ですね。自分の体がどんな状態なのか把握していますか？
はい。もう右腕ぐらいしか上がりません。
You're not going to do much without your legs, bucko. The pain searing through my eyes is beyond words. Orbs of flame burn in my eye sockets. My headache will probably split my skull open well before my lungs give out.
そうですか。では、まだ信じていいんですね。
もちろん、ここからが本番です。
I nod, wondering why I'm grinning. An odd pang twinges in my chest. I realize, not for the first time, how good it feels to be understood by someone else, no matter the circumstances. That is such a sick...
行くよ、先輩。
That is such a sick thing to see.
任されました。まっすぐにできることだけをしてください。
This is so good. No more detours. I launch myself straight for Vlov with CL half a step behind me. A deluge of icicles flies towards us to greet us. All of them are aimed at me, as proof I have been elevated from nuisance to nemesis. But none hit their mark. With a deafening volley of gunfire, CL turns a lethal barrage into so much rain. I should have known this fighter would never retreat without reason. She only withdrew us to retrieve her dropped weapon. One more breath. In one more breath, I will sever that light. But the gulf separating me from it is vast. Vlov is just as hell-bent on survival as we are. Even weakened as he is, his abilities still far exceed human parameters. I have no hope of dodging his blow, not on my own. So I stake my life on CL. How did he weigh his options, I wonder? Me racing across the ground, CL backing me up from the air. In this fraction of a second, he realizes CL is the greater threat, that she will be the one to kill him. And yet, in defiance of his screaming instincts, he chooses me, the insect crawling on the earth. This is no act of mindless rage. This is a warrior's intuition deliberately suppressed by force of will. He is a knight now, not some vampire mired in paranoid delusions. To choose the lesser foe constitutes a truly inhuman act of self-control. Anger alone could not explain this. No, this is pride that compels him, honor that he would give his very existence to defend. How noble, but also so foolish. The same foolishness that brought you to these foreign shores. Huh. An inescapable iron fist crashes down to the earth. Here in this Okay, I can't read that. What do you mean? Here in this ultimate extreme? We all bet our lives. She is no exception. As though lighting, that's the word, there's no N. As though lighting the way for me to follow. Her blow splits the ground asunder, and Vlov's body with it. The impact causes his spear tip to falter. My head stays attached to my body by the grace of a few millimeters. An icicle punctures my left shoulder. No matter. I shake off the impact and close in. My knife slides into the vampire's chest with astonishing ease. I fall to the frozen ground, writhing in agony. My brain feels like it's on fire. My body is racked with pain stemming from the tip of my knife, as though I had stabbed his chest with my bare fingers rather than a blade. Through the haze of pain, I vaguely realize my mistake. I looked too closely. It wasn't the vampire's body my knife found, but the fire burning within. I wasted my chance. If only I'd kept my eyes on his death. If only I hadn't been distracted by the light, I could have killed him. Freed at last from the curse consuming his body and soul, now a mere dead apostle once more, he lunges towards me. Oh, we killed his master, basically. Okay. And now he's back to... We basically, by destroying the principal, he's now just a dead apostle. But a serpentine blade blocks his path. That's a noise. Seal's extending sword wraps around him and begins to squeeze. The guillotine spins with a metallic clatter. A tornado springs up around the executor, launching the vampire high into the air. Literally hit him with a launcher. There it is! Oh, she's doing a super! Her weapon transforms. In place of a sword, she holds an oversized stake driver. I prefer the term pile bunker, but primed to skewer the vampire as he falls. Yeah, that's just her super move. Yes! Yes! Inescapable death rises to greet him. Her blow does not so much as spear his chest as shatter his torso, yet his talons still reach out, grasping. Oh. He recognizes her at the last moment. The raw hatred this monster spews is now beyond what I have seen. Creatura del Cielo. So a creature of... What is cielo in, I'm assuming, Italian? Cielo meaning. Oh my god. Cielo is heaven. Oh my god, it's heaven. Creature of heaven. Well, that also makes her name even double impact, huh? His dying scream rises to the heavens. There is no forgiveness, no mercy to be found here. Her stake is a hammer of judgment, and its verdict is annihilation. That was good. That was real good. That was real good. I don't know which I prefer of the two. I think this one slightly ekes out Arkwid's fight. I roll over to lie face up, looking towards the sky. Pride and shame do battle in my chest. My heart and lungs cry for joy. Finally, I take a long, belated breath. I can't move a muscle. I can't even tell whether I'm still holding my knife. All I can be sure of is the throbbing in my skull and my rapidly fading consciousness. The pain in my skewered shoulder, the blood oozing from my shredded limbs. All of it feels dull, as though I've been pumped full of the good juice. Just about managed to slip on my glasses to soothe my headache before my batteries run completely dry.
遠野くん、しっかり生きていますか?
Tono's sleepy. Dimly, I hear CL's voice. I want to raise a hand to show her there's no need to worry, but I can't lift a single finger.
遠野くん、呼吸はしていますね。心臓も動いている。なのに目を覚まさないなんて。ああ、もしかして頭が。
いや、その言い方はあんまりな気がします。
Good thing CL wrapped her arms around me and held me upright. With the blood finally draining from my head, I find the strength to speak.
よかった。いえ、よくないです。なんかもうボロボロじゃないですか。無謀すぎます。なんだってあんなことをしたんですか?
Gotta jump in on the zoner, CL. Well, that seems so trivial now. She sounds so genuinely flustered, though. I wish my eyes were working well enough to see her
で
face.
すね。全くです。本当にめちゃくちゃ怖かった。
I heave an enormous sigh.
もう今頃になってそんなことを言うなんて困った人ですね。でも怖かったってどのくらい怖かったんですか？噂に聞いた遠野くんの妹さんぐらい？
自覚してますからいじめないでください。こんなのは二度とごめんです。
I bite back playfully. That only encourages CL all the more.
はい、強がるところが可愛いです。
And she grins. The bolt of agony from my shoulder tears through my consciousness.
ごめんなさい、今は治療が先でした。肩の傷は骨は折れていませんね。よかった。これなら私でも治療できそうです。他に痛いところはありませんか？はい、遠野くん？もしもし？
As long as you're here, I know I'll be all right. With those words on my lips, my eyelids droop closed. All I see is the moon above me. Its pale light recalls the face of my other absent partner in crime, Arquid. What should I say when I see her next? Do I tell her off for breaking her promise or thank her for saving my life? Either way, picturing her face makes me feel...
はい。おやすみなさい、遠野くん。後のことは私に任せて、どうかゆっくり休んでください。
The lullaby of her whispered voice is the last thing I hear, almost like she's trying to get Arquid out of my thoughts. For the first time in 2 long days, I fall into a deep sleep. Oh. Boy, I sure wonder who that could be. I wonder who can use arachnids. Oh, this is apparently, you've seen this mostly. 2 years after the demise of VLOV Archangel, the traffic restrictions and media blackout remain in place. In order to keep a lid on the events that transpired here, Inspection or photographic recording of the collapse site has been strictly prohibited. These orders come not from the police or military, however. From a blonde-haired, blue-eyed foreigner. Looking at him, he couldn't be more than 12 years old.
おーおー、やりたい放題ってのはまさにこいつのことだよな。使徒のカタコンベに神祖の空想具現化ときた。日本ってのはアジアが誇る先進国じゃなかったのか。いつから中世の田舎町になりやがった。こんな大騒ぎは13年前のあれ以来じゃねえのか。おい、聞いてんのか、アンド。てめえの国の話をしてんだよ、俺は。
Oh, Ando is actually... He's actually Japanese?
俺に言われても困りますよ、坊ちゃん。ハイテク国家とか言われてますけど、そんなのもう10年も
Wow,
前の話ですし。
This is incredibly...
人間の程度も伸び悩んでるんすから、この国。
incredibly pointed political... like...
political
commentary. The black-haired man takes the blonde boy's abuse in stride. The battle-scarred crater stretches out before them. Its debris-strewn surface bustles with activity. Rescue squads were attempting to save what survivors they could, while a team of local police investigators milled about. None of them knew the truth of this supernatural incident. Their job was simply to deal with the aftermath without asking any questions.
しかし、いいんですか、坊ちゃん。うちの連中使わなくて。あれ、どんだけ観光令引いても漏れちゃいますぜ。
気にすんな。日本人は仕事熱心なんだろう。秘密厳守っていう組織の方針には従わなきゃな。
Oh boy. Quite pointed, huh?
よしんば話が漏れても噂止まりだ。事故現場に死体があるのは不思議じゃねえんだしな。
そりゃ不思議じゃねえですけど、不自然ではありますよ。
そりゃお前、ここで発見された死体は今夜ここにいた哀れな一般人だろうが、発見された死体イコールさっきまで生きていた人間ってのが自然だろ。
マジですか？そんな方便で通るんすか？
そこを通すんだよ。いやー、公園だったのが幸いしたぜ。無関係な人間が山ほどいたことの理由になる。理由さえあればあとは力仕事だわな。何のためにうちのジジイが権力ばらまいてると思ってやがる。抑えるのはトップだけでいいんだよ。下っ端や真ん中が不審がっても関係ねえ。最後にまとめる人間が握りつぶせばそれでおしまいだ。
Interesting.
そりゃつらい。そっか、そういう風に闇に葬られてきたのか。坊ちゃん、その年でエリートコースまっしぐらっすね。家柄的な話プラス精神的な話で、なんかこう、もっと年相応の遊び心とかないんですか？
あるかんなもん。ガキってのは基本つまらねえもんだって忘れたのか30歳。ほら、無駄話してねえで監督してきやがれ。ヤバめな証拠は隠滅しとけよ。
へい、上司の命令とあれば喜んで。
あれでもちっと緊張感があれば使えるんだがな。あの捨て鉢さはなんだ。若い頃に挫折でも。
Are we gonna learn anything about Karius? Because he's... Yeah.
私にはとんと安藤の私生活に興味はありません。
You intrigue me, because we don't know much about you.
3年前、悪徳司祭の内部告発を決意したものの、最後の最後で金に目がくらんだ恋人に裏切られ、故郷を追われ、失意の果てに父方の祖国であるこの国に島流しになったということぐらいしか。
That's a lot.
また、先月は金融機関に3万円ほど返済をした後、6万円ほど追加の融資を受けたようです。
Oh, he seems not great.
十分知ってるじゃねえか。ま、仲がいいのはいいことだ。当面、俺の下はお前と安藤だけだからな。
マーリオ様のご命令とあらば、承知いたしました。
おお、仲良くな。じゃあそろそろ報告でも聞いとくか。あの使えない方の女、通していいぜ。
A nervous-looking woman is ushered through. Executor Noel, one of the handful of people who know what really happened here tonight.
本日付で赴任した監督司祭代行マーリオ・ジャッロ・ベスティーノだ。
Yeah, again, it should be Gallo. Because it was supposed to be Giallo Bestino. It'd be Giallo, right?
顔合わせは初めてだよな、代行者ノエル。
Oh, they just meet each other here.
ベスティーノってラウレンティス枢機卿のですか？
There's good reason for Noel's astonishment. No disciple of the Holy Church could fail to recognize that name or what it signifies. At the top of the Holy See stands the Pope, but he is held aloft by 128 cardinals beneath him. The power of the Church is concentrated in the cardinals, and the most powerful of them is Cardinal Laurentis. This man, the Pope in waiting in all but name, has a grandson, Mario. Again, Laurentis does become the Pope in the Fate Extra universe, or Fate Extra universe there, and potentially is the reason that all the mana in the world goes away and results in Fate Extra being what it is. Naturally, they are not related by blood, as cardinals are celibate. Next, you're gonna tell me priests are celibate. Come on, dude. As cardinals are celibate, they traditionally adopt children to raise as their successors. The Holy See values character, not blood. Only the most pious, the most learned, the most morally steadfast are chosen to uphold the house of God. So why, in God's name, did you pick Mario? In principle, anyway. In reality, Cardinal Laurentis has an open secret. While he has been undeniably generous in his patronage, many have noted a certain similarity between his supposed adopted children's features and his own. What did I say? Oh my god, I cannot believe this game's going there. So, he's known to the laity as a lecher in choir dress. Oh my god. I still stand by. No scene has shook me to the core of, oh my god, like, this is real knowledge of religion than the scene in which on the Holy Night of them in church. Like, that scene, I was like, every time they talk about church, I'm like, this is Kinoku Nasu knowing the church better than anything I've ever seen in media. Because whenever I see the church, which again, I've been part of my whole life, it's just how I've been raised, right? Whenever I see it in media, I always see either the American side of it, which is not at all what I've ever seen growing up. Oh my god, it's so different. Or it's just purely demonized into it is bad, right? Nasu has the most objective look at the church I've seen ever. The good, the bad, all of it. And it feels so real. A fraud who purchased his seat with money and power. Like, this is a real thing. This is a real thing. Of course, those of the clergy close to Cardinal Laurentis know him to be pious, prudent, and compassionate. In all aspects but one, he is the model priest. His sexual proclivity is the sole blemish on an otherwise pristine record. Cardinal Laurentis holds Mario in particularly high regard. Ostensibly, he is the Cardinal's grandson and is considered by many as his overdue successor. The expectations heaped on Mario's shoulders are evident in the fact that he wears the name Bestino, Laurentis' former surname from his years in rural obscurity. None of his more than 20 brothers, that's a lot, are granted the same honor. Well, they did say in the Bible to go forth and sow your seeds, so... In short, this boy is the heir apparent to the veritable church royalty, albeit royalty that has turned reclusive in recent years. No believer could blame Noelle for being struck dumb by such a figure. Though this does raise a question in her mind. If this boy remains in his homeland, he has a secure future in the highest echelons of the church. So why is he here alone in an island nation on the other side of the world?
でも本当に。
ああ、なんだ、免許証でも見せてほしいのか？
いえ、そんなことは決して。でも 枢機卿のお孫さんにしては
そりゃ若えだろ。ジジイが100歳超えてから愛人に産ませたガキだからな。今
What?
年で12だ。恐れ入ったか。しかもまだ弟がいるって話だ。
Whoa! Oh man. It's not just dust at that point? Blow isn't just like, he's not just like blowing out cinnamon?
ったく、うちのじいさまは吸血鬼以上の絶命だ
Right?
ぜ。
That's crazy.
マリオ司祭代行。今の発言は。
ただの愚痴だ。聞き流せ。てめえもそこまで信心深いって腹じゃねえだろ。無理してらしい反応してんじゃねえよ。んなことより本題だ本題。事の始まりには間に合わなかったが、最後の締めだけは見せてもらったぜ。
You know, he is so right to call you out. Oh my god, he knows.
はい。事の始まりというとどのあたりからでしょうか。
てめえが逃げ出したところからだ。いい判断だったな、代行者ノエル。おかげで命があるわけだ。
Dang.
逃げ足だけは見どころあるよ、お前。10年近く使い捨ての犬ころやってるやつは筋金入ってやがる。俺が王朝に帰り次第、てめえはクビだ。修道院送りじゃねえぞ。
Oh
命送りの
no.
方な。
The sudden death sentence knocked Noelle off balance. For a few seconds, her heart felt like it stopped in her chest.
待ってください。あれには深いわけがありまして。
She fell to her knees, begging desperately for her life. It was true that she abandoned her fellow executor, she admitted, but it wasn't out of self-preservation. She had to run so she could call reinforcements, so she could live long enough to kill their real target, so please, please.
ほう、本命ときたか。
I don't like that face, buddy.
じゃあ何か。てめえとあの女のコンビの標的は別なわけか。
そうなんです。嘘じゃありません。法王朝に問いただしていただいても結構です。司祭代理ならそれぐらいできますよね。
そうでもねえんだよ、間抜け。てめえの相方は埋葬機関だろう。あそこは治外法権だ。ジジイの意向も奴らにだけは届かねえ。てめえらがこの町にいることも今知ったばかりだよ。
I didn't know the burial agency was so
っ
separate.
ていうか、司祭代行なんざただの肩書きだろうが。現場において代行者はその事変が収束するまで独自の権限を認められる。うちの絶対のルールだろ。親の七光に目がくらんでるんじゃねえよ。
じゃあ今のは嘘ですか。
嘘じゃねえさ。偽らざる俺の本心だ。こんなガキの身分じゃそんな権限はないってだけでな。だがまあ、いい話は聞けたよな。本命ってやつの話を聞かせてもらおうじゃねえか。てめえとあの女、一体いつから潜入調査なんざしてやがった。
Well, realizes her mistake, but it's too late to hide it. Reluctantly, she relays the results of her and her fellow executors' month-long investigation. The report takes around 10 minutes. She's quick, succinct, and very keen to emphasize that all responsibility lies with her colleague.
裏付けのない未確認情報を頼りにスコア稼ぎね。つまりはあれだ。てめえらも独断で動いてたわけか。結構。それなら潰し合う必要はねえ。
司祭代行、それはどういう意味でしょうか。
間抜け、今ので同じ穴の無地なだって分かれよ。俺はお忍び、てめえらは私的な暴走。
He said
や
shinobi.
つを追っていることを上に知られるのは都合が悪いってことだろ。
Is that literally the term for being incognito? That's crazy.
お忍び。
Yeah, huh?
それじゃあここまでのお咎めもなしということでしょうか。
咎めようがねえな。俺は代行者なんざ見ていないし、 そっちも俺の命令は受けていないわけだし、正直こっちも自由に動かせるのはこの国の権力者だけでな。教会の実動部隊は動かせない。動かすときは最後の一手、決着をつけるタイミングだけだ。なんでそれまで使い勝手のいい駒が欲しかったんだよ。
That sounds like sequel bait.
つまり今だけ私たちは対等ということですか？
ああ、互いに助け合っていこうぜ。とは言ってもことが終われば立場も元通りだ。後々いい生活がしたいってんなら尻でも振りまくるんだな。俺に媚びを売れば売るほどジジイへの覚えも良くなる。てめえ程度の三下には一生に一度ある。
So I assume this scene roughly happened also in the other route. We're just seeing it now for the first time. Executors might enjoy executive authority in the field, but their position within the church's hierarchy is relatively low. Their unique privileges and freedoms come at the price of any opportunity for advancement. They are disposable soldiers, traveling from battlefield to battlefield until one claims their life. As such, Mario's offer represents an unbelievable stroke of fortune. However, Noelle knows better than to take it at face value. As attractive as the prospect of promotion might be, she has no guarantee he will keep his word. Above all else, he clearly views her with contempt. She resents being ordered around by a child less than half her age, and while she might not realize it, she also has a fundamental dislike of church officials. Little, if anything, could ever make him likable in her eyes.
なんだ、嬉しくねえのかよ。ここは喜んで俺の靴を舐めるところじゃねえか。メス犬のくせに反応悪いなてめえ。犬っていうより豚だったか。
Dang. That's interesting because in Japanese he said, I thought you were a dog, but you're more of a pig. Now he's saying you're sow. Yeah. I guess that's the same roughly. Yeah.
降って湧きすぎた幸運に慣れていないだけというか。それより出世の話ならあの子はどうなんです？今でも信じられないけど本当に巣を倒しちゃいましたよね。これであの子の待遇とか上がっちゃうんですか？何しろ初の27層殺しなんですし。
はあ、バカ言ってんじゃねえぞターキー。たとえ国を揺るがすような怪物だろうとな、吸血鬼殺しで役職が上がるかよ。
Mario answers with withering scorn. Noelle's resentment only deepens, but she feels a sense of relief. Seal can hunt down the greatest trophy, and Executor can claim the head of one of the dead apostle lords, and it still won't earn her a moment's reprieve. But...
だいたい初めての話でもねえしな。
Whoa?
はい。
This time, Noelle's reaction is one of genuine surprise. The acting prelate, so out of place in this eastern land, looks out across the crater.
だから初めてじゃねえんだよ。森と城を含めてこれで3体目だ。
Oh, did she kill Inashi? I don't know which one's the castle, but the forest would be Inashi, right? Okay, so she killed Inashi, wow. Huh. As he recounts the accomplishments of Noelle's absent comrade, his eyes are cold. I don't know who the castle is.
ただいまーす。あれ、下からちらっと見えた可愛い
Sweet little thing.
もうお帰り？
ガリウスに送らせた。今後の打ち合わせもあるからな。埋葬期間の方は話にならねえが、あの女は分かりやすい。人参ぶら下げりゃ死ぬまで走る玉だ。で、そっちはどうだ？
いやー、なんも残っていませんわ。使徒にとっての聖典、吸血鬼の痕跡ってやつ、死体も残ってないですし、あの代行者が回収しちまったみたいですね。
Scripture but for dead apostles. Huh.
またかよ、あのア戦利品はきっちり上納するもんだろうが。
Oh,
組織の上下関
scripture.
係舐めてんのか。
He's asking for the weapon. Wow.
いやそんなわけのわからないものを押し付けられても困りますけどね。餅は餅や化け物は化け物殺しにでいいじゃないですか。
Wrong button.
だから化け物殺しが化け物になったら困るんだよ。いい。てめえはしばらくここの監督だ。明日にはこの土地の持ち主様が来るから顔合わせとけ。俺は町の把握がてら神祖の様子を見てくる。定時連絡忘れないようにな。
Oh, he's just gonna go visit Arquid?
え、坊ちゃんが直々にそんな地味な肉体労働？俺の仕事ですよそれ。
Huh.
死ぬほどクソだな安藤。神祖の尾行なんざてめえに任せられるか。
坊ちゃんそんなに俺を大切に。
まだ駒の替えがねえからな。死なれたら俺が疲れる。人員が増えたらてめえに任せるから安心しろ。
まあそういう理由っすよね。でも坊ちゃんならうまくいくんですか？基本的に貧弱なただのクソガキですよね坊ちゃん。
魔術だの秘跡だのに頼らない時点でてめえらよりマシだろうよ。ヨシンバ見つかってもあれとは顔見知りだ。
What?
殺されることはね。
What do you mean? You're 12. What do you mean? Huh?
数奇表のボンボンが吸血鬼と顔見知りってそれスキャンダルどころの話じゃないですよね。
That's just confusing in many ways. The boy ignores his subordinates blabbering and walks off into the night. He has reconnaissance to do, preparations to make. And afterwards, a vampire princess to visit. A woman he met so long ago that she has all but faded from memory. What? When? Huh. The mystery deepens. And the mystery ends the video for now. Next time, guys, we'll be back with Crimson Vestiges. Day 6. We will see you then for some more of Let's Play Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. I am loving the fact that this is all brand new material. It is just so good. Anyways, I will see you then for that. The next parts will be back in China, by the way, so it might sound a bit different. Just letting you know. All right, guys, we'll see you then for some more, though. Ciao. Yo.